Hey guys, very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the video number 473, and in this video we are going to talk about the paragraph, the bold, and how to insert the break lines using the HTML. Right, so as you know that we have just started this web designing tutorial, and this is going to be the part number 2. If you haven't watched the part number 1, please go and watch that, because that is going to help you in learning the HTML in a proper way. Right, now my name is Ajay Parmar and I have been running this channel from the last 2 years, and we are on the video number 473. And guys, if you are watching this video for the first time, or if you're just new to the channel, you have just subscribed maybe a week back, 2 weeks back, let me introduce myself to you. This channel dedicates to all those professionals or all those wannabe programmers who want to do extremely well in Excel, VBA, MS Access and Access VBA. And now this, after running it for 2 years now, I decided that let's go and talk about the web designing as well. So in this web designing tutorials, in the coming sessions, in the future sessions, you are going to learn much more. It's not just the HTML. We are going to learn about the CSS, we are going to learn about the jQuery, and who knows, maybe if we someday would like to program the things, we can also go for the PHP, right? Or any other language. For example, ASP.NET is also something which you can actually use to make the websites. Now that's my channel name, youtube.com/c/Ajay Kumar Parmar, and I want you to tell that we have created 46 playlists so far, and this is the playlist which I have just started, web designing HTML tutorial. Please go and watch this video, the part number 1 first, before watching this video. Now the rest of all these playlists, you can see that they have Access, Access VBA, Excel, Excel VBA. That simply means that Access will talk about Access, Access VBA is going to be your programming, Excel VBA is going to be programming in Excel. So that sort of thing is there. And if you're wondering that how to begin with each of these playlists, well, I have a solution for you. You can see that these are all the playlists I have created for you in a proper sequence. So my friends, you just need to go and first of all choose the topic what you want to learn. You can go and start watching these videos in this way, or you can also reach out to me from my website, which is excelvbalover.com, and you can also message me if you're looking for your personal online training. Right, so this is how all these playlists are designed. Pause the video, note it down, take the snapshot, whatever you want to do, and this is how we are going to start this. Right, now in this video, what I'm going to talk about is, if you have watched my previous video, then guys, in the previous video I'll show you. In the previous video we talked about this, we have made this Explorer page. This is, I'm using the Google Chrome, but you can use any other Safari or Firefox, any, or Internet Explorer, whatever you want to use. You can use any of the Explorer. So this is the page which we have made. Now I'm going to show you, actually let me double click here. Let me show you what we did. In case you missed out the first video. Now when you open this, I actually talked about all these things, right? So we talked about my web page, we talked about my web page, and this my web page. These are all the headers. So let me just close this and let me show you the code exactly what we have done here with some editing. Let me modify the code as well. Now if we have to see what we have done, so we simply use the notepad. If you remember, just right click here and say that open with the notepad. Right, this is the you can say that the software we are using, notepad. It's a very very well-known software. People write it, people make these use these notepads to store the data, and they convert that into the text files. You can also make the notes in this, whatever you want to do, but we have actually started to write the HTML here because we wanted to learn the HTML so that we can design the web pages, right guys? So what I have done is, if you haven't watched the first video, I simply converted this .txt into .html, so that begins the page, right? Because this is where you write the this entire HTML code. Now this is what I have done, and simultaneously what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click here. Let me show you back. So you see that in the previous video we learned about the header, and we learned about the this the body, and the body we talked about all these headers which you can see here right now. Now in this video, what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about the paragraphs. What if you want to write something on the web page? For example, to save your time, I have already the link with me. Let's say this is the link which I have taken from the net about the cooking. Now guys, have you ever wondered that whatever they write here, how actually they write, all these things, right? So basically a web page is divided into different sections. It is divided into headers, body, and then paragraphs, and further, you can also divide that, into the tables, right? So basically when the web page is, getting designed, you see that here this is the entire one paragraph, and then after that paragraph this is the second paragraph, and this is the third paragraph, and then they have added the image as well. And then on the left side, they created all these hyperlinks, so and then they put the image here, right? And on the top, you see that these are all the basically the links they have created, right? So this is all something we are going to do in the coming sessions, right? We will do everything, right? Now today I'm just going to talk about these two things, the paragraph and how you can make these things bold, right? We will be talking about how to change the color in the coming sessions, but today we are just going to focus on the three things: how to insert the break line, how to go to the next line, and then how to write the paragraph, and how to make anything bold, right? So let's go and let's see here. Now let me open my page here. This is my page. At the same time, I have opened this in the form of the notepad as well. So guys, when you want to write anything on the web page, in this body section we use the paragraph, right? We use the tag called P. I already had spoken about the tags. What are the tags? So this tag basically is the open tag where I'm going to write something, and let's say I write here that this is my second day and I am learning HTML so that we can make web pages, and then we can also learn how to integrate Excel with web pages. Now guys, remember, that we have come a long way. We have got so many videos on Excel and Excel VBA, right? So don't think that this is just the HTML we are going to use only for the to develop the pages. Even if you are if you are working in Excel and Excel VBA, with the help of the Excel VBA, you can also integrate the web pages. You can import the data from there, right? And this is something we call it web scraping. In fact, I got so many queries in past about the web scraping that I should go and talk about this subject as well, because I think this is the only subject which still we haven't covered. So that is why we are going to first learn the HTML. Once you know the in and out of the HTML, which is very simple actually, it's not really tough, it's not actually a programming, it's simply a plain simple language. You can see that there's no program here. It is just to basically to show the things in the front end, right? To display those static text, right? So it's very simple, and I'm sure in the coming maybe 7-8 videos when we're going to have we're gonna have a very good amount of the knowledge for the HTML, and then using that HTML then we will be talking about the Excel VBA scrapping, right? Where we will learn how to basically use how to exploit the web pages using the Excel VBA programming, and you can use the data in the Excel, right? So this is what I have done so far. So now what I will do is I'll simply close the tag. As you know that I told you that whenever you write the open tag, you have to write the close tag as well. Now when I go and save this file, let me just go and refresh this page, and let's see what's gonna happen. Look at this, guys. Now this is going to be my paragraph, right? Now one thing which is very important I want to talk about here is that if you have written this in the next line, this, and then we can also learn how to integrate Excel with web pages. Basically don't expect that in the web page this and this entire line is going to be in the next line. This is not how it is going to work, right? Because what you're writing here is, that's okay, it's not going to affect this entire thing. If you are an Excel VBA person, you know that in the Excel VBA we to go to the next line we use the underscore, right? We use the underscore and then we start writing the code, right? If the code is actually big, right? Now for example in VBA, if you go you write the workbook open command. So this is how I write workbook dot open command, and then afterwards you have to write the complete path. Right now, some people prefer writing the complete path here, but maybe you can put the underscore and you can start writing the workbook open path here. So you can give the complete path. For example, you have a C drive, and then you write, you know, in the C drive users, and then let's say my username is Acer, and then the desktop, you know. So you write your entire path there like this. So what happens, VBA treat this as one line, because this is underscore means that this is in the second line is in the continuation of the first line. You don't see any changes in your Excel VBA in the front end, right? So if somebody is going to write the code like this, if they don't use this underscore, for example, and they just, you know, use this single line, then what happens? The result will be same, because this code and the code which I, you know, written previously, that works the same way. This is just to use the to open the any Excel file. So same way guys, when you write here anything, it goes in the single line. Right now the question comes that what if you want to actually insert the line? Then as I said that there is a code called, there is a the tag called break. We call it this is the break element, BR. So you can do that. For example, now let's say I want to say that and should go in the next line. So you just write here BR is going to break this line. Right now, save the file. Make sure you every time you save the file before you refresh this. Now the moment you're going to refresh it, bingo, look at this guys, you have your on the next line. That's very interesting, isn't it? So you can put as many break codes as you want, that's fine. So for example, if I just go and write the break code here, now save this, I'm going to save this and I'm going to run this. Now refresh it and look at this. So this way you can go to the next line. So this is the break code, this is the second thing. Now if I just go and create one more paragraph, for example, this is also something I want to clear. Let's say I press here 4 times and I, you know, just for example, this is what I do, and I just, let's say, cut this line. We don't need this entire syntax, so I just go and do this. Right, so let's say this is the next line. Right now, what do you think if I save this and I refresh it? Are you going to see that all these, you know, 4 basically the blank lines here? If I just run it, I'll show you. Look at this. So basically, again guys, doesn't matter how many spaces you're going to create here, right? It's not really going to create that space in the web page. Right, when you refresh it, it's just going to create the new paragraph after once, you know, the blank line. Right, so when you write the paragraphs, basically you can, if you want to write the third paragraph as well. For example, if you look at this, this is where, you know, they have written this entire stuff. Right, this is the entire line they have written. So this is the third paragraph, this is the second, and this is the first. So that sort of thing guys, you can do easily here as well. So if I just copy this, and if I just, let's say I just write here Control V, and let's say I write here something, let's say that this channel has more than 400 videos on Excel, VBA, Access, and now we have begun with HTML as well. Right, you can press enter. That's all right. Now when I write this paragraph, you know what's going to happen. You just save this and let's see that what's going to happen. So obviously there will be next line which is going to be inserted. If I just refresh it, you can see that this is how it is. Right now, the last thing which I want to talk about is that now before I just go and talk about the bold, how you can bold the text, guys, remember one thing. If you don't put this hash, this closing bracket, right, the backslash actually, and you save this file, let's say you forget to do that, let me just refresh it. The moment you're going to refresh it, you won't see any changes. Right, so generally it is always said that you always close the tag using the backslash. Right now I haven't closed it, right, but you can see that still it is working. But always make the habit of, you know, basically putting the backslash here, because in the other tags it may not work. For example, if let's say I just go and forget to close this HTML, right, I save this text file now and I just go and refresh it. and I, let's say, go and remove these closing tags as well. So I'm just trying to remove this, and let me save the file, right? Your code, your this HTML may work, but it's not maybe going to work the way you actually thought of it. So if I just refresh it, let's have a look at this, guys. Everything is bold now. Anywhere did we actually say that this has to be bold, this entire paragraph? We are not saying that, right? So basically you're not going to you're not closing these tags, so this is affecting the entire page. These are the headers, and that headers are always bold actually, right? So header 1 is going to be in the bigger size, this is the header 2, and this is then slightly a little smaller than this, and this is actually the smallest one. So guys, always remember that, please do close these the tags. And as I said that in the Excel VBA also, when we write any macro sub, we always write the enter. If you start with the if function, it always ends with the end if you start any for loop, then it always ends with the next word, right? So these are all the things which we are supposed to take care of it, right? For maybe you are able, if you don't put the closing tag, you may be able to see the the web page, but it is going to behave maybe down the line when you're going to write a big page or big code, and your HTML is the web page has a lot of content to highlight, it may not work the way actually you planned it, right? So let's now, after these corrections, I just save this and I'm going to refresh it. Now let's refresh it, and you can see that it's basically working now. It's perfect. Now only the headers are bold, right? And headers are always going to be bold because they are meant to be look like this. The last thing which I want to do is, so let's say if I want this channel to be bold, so this is what you can do. You can insert this B line here, and then you can just close that B line with that. So I can close this tag, and then further, let's say in HTML also you want to make it bold, so you can write here B, and then you can \B, right? Sign off, less than and greater than should be there. Now when I save this file, and I refresh it, let's have a look. Now you can see that, wonderful. Now your HTML word is bold and channel is bold, right? So this is what I actually wanted to tell you, how to bold the text in your paragraphs, how to write the paragraphs, and how to insert the new lines. Like in this first paragraph, we inserted this new line, right? If I just go and remove this line from here, you're going to start, you're going to see this paragraph in a single line. So if I just refresh it, you see that this is how it looks like. Now how to integrate Excel with web pages, if you look at this, let's see that how to integrate. This is coming because I have put the breakcode here. If I just go and remove this again, and I just go and refresh it, it's going to show me everything in the one line, right? So this is paragraph 1, this is paragraph 2, and this is paragraph 3. So that's it for now, guys, and we're going to catch up soon with the video number 3 also, and we are going to learn more about these HTMLs, right? I hope you're enjoying the sessions, and please share this channel with all people who wants to be who wants to become an expert in Excel VBA and HTML recently, as we have started, and Access VBA. So that's it for now, and I'll see you soon. Till then, you take care of yourself and have a fantastic learning. Bye.